Hello and welcome. We're going to talk about something that can cause instant panic, a serious dental injury. It could happen from a fall, a sports accident, or, hey, even just biting down on something a little too hard. The thing is, knowing what to do in those first few moments is absolutely key. So this explainer is all about giving you calm, clear instructions so you can feel informed and confident, even when things get a little stressful. So picture this, right? It happens in a split second. You hear a sharp crack, feel a sudden jolt, and then that awful, sinking feeling of a gap where a tooth should be. Your heart starts pounding. What do I do? Who do I call? That rush of pure panic is totally normal, but it's also the one thing we really need to get under control to handle this the right way. And that is exactly why we're here. Because what you do in those first few minutes after an accident can literally mean the difference between saving a tooth or losing it. Plus, you can avoid a whole lot of pain and potential infection down the line. It's all about having a clear game plan.
Okay, so let's dive right in with our first scenario, which is also the more common one, a tooth that's been cracked or chipped. Now, it might not seem as dramatic as a tooth getting knocked out completely, but believe me, it absolutely requires your immediate attention. Here are your 4 crucial first steps. First up, gently rinse your mouth with some warm water. That's just to clean the area. Second, pretty obvious but important, stop chewing on that side of your mouth. We don't want to cause any more damage. Third, if you start to see any swelling, grab a cold compress and put it on your cheek. And finally, and this one is non-negotiable, you've got to see a dentist. Even if it doesn't hurt, you have to get it checked.
So you might be thinking, why the big rush to the dentist if there's no pain? Well, think of a tiny crack as leaving your front door wide open for bacteria. It creates a direct highway to the sensitive pulp and the nerves deep inside your tooth. An infection can set in fast, and that can lead to some serious pain and much bigger problems. Trust me, that small chip is a way bigger deal than it looks.
And now for a really critical warning. I know it might be tempting to try some kind of quick fix at home, but please don't. Using stuff like superglue can introduce toxic chemicals, damage the tooth structure even more, and honestly, it just makes it much harder for a dentist to do a proper, safe repair. Just leave it to the professionals.
All right, let's move on to scenario 2, and this one is even more time-sensitive. We're talking about a tooth that has been completely knocked out of your mouth. This is a true dental emergency, and believe me, every single second counts. Seeing a tooth on the ground is, well, it's alarming. There's just no other word for it. But the single most important thing you can do is take a deep breath and stay calm. Panicking is what leads to mistakes, and in this situation, following the right steps carefully can dramatically, and I mean dramatically, increase the chances of successfully putting that tooth right back where it belongs. Okay, now this slide breaks down exactly what to do, and just as important, what not to do. So, first, do pick the tooth up by the crown, that's the chewing part. You must never touch the root. The root surface has these incredibly delicate cells that are essential for it to reattach. A quick, gentle rinse with water is okay, but don't you dare scrub it. Now, the absolute best thing you can do is try to gently place it back in the socket yourself. If you can't, you have to keep it moist. And here's why you always hear people say to use milk. Milk has the right proteins and chemical balance to keep those fragile root cells alive. It's like a perfect little life support system. Tap water, on the other hand, can actually cause those cells to swell up and burst. So milk or even your own saliva in a container is fine. But whatever you do not let that tooth dry out.
And this right here illustrates the most crucial factor of all, time. The window for saving a knocked-out tooth is incredibly small. The sooner you can get to an emergency dentist, with the tooth properly preserved, of course, the higher the chance it can be saved. We're talking every single minute counts.
So we've covered 2 very different, very stressful scenarios. But what's really interesting is that no matter what the specific injury is, the core first aid principles are always the same.
So, the crucial point, the thing to burn into your memory, is this. Remember these 3 golden rules. Number 1, stay calm. Just take a breath before you do anything. 2, act quickly. Know the steps and follow them without hesitating. And 3, see a professional. Home fixes are not the answer. Getting immediate dental care is absolutely essential. This is your simple, powerful checklist for any dental emergency.
So you now have a clear plan for what to do in a dental emergency. But here's a final thought for you. Does your partner, your child, or maybe the person who coaches your kid's soccer team, do they know this information? Sharing this knowledge could make all the difference, because being prepared is really the best way to protect your family's smiles.